happy Friday, everyone. So I'm excited to be here. I'm going to be leading some free trainings every Thursday at 4 p.m. So you can put that on your calendar, my friends. So in case you are new to my world, because I do have some new friends here on Instagram, my name is Rachel Friedman. Maybe you know that already because you're listening, but I am a coach that helps coaches refine and hone their craft. And I wanted to just speak a moment about the value and the importance of this and what actually got me into it. So the truth is I think that in the coaching world, there are a lot of really amazing coaches out there, and there are a lot of shitty ones. Okay. Hey, Maggie, that's just part of, I think, in any industry, just like there are a lot of amazing doctors and there's some really shitty doctors, right? And there's amazing accountants, not such good ones, lawyers, blah, blah, blah. And the same is true in the coaching world. However, in the coaching world, because it's an unregulated field, for that reason, I believe it's essential as a coach that you feel a deep connection to your work. Not just a deep connection to your work, that you are really grounded in what you do and how you help your clients. Not only are you grounded in what you do, but you believe in your heart, your body, and your soul that the work you're doing is going to shift, transform, change someone's life. And in order to feel this way about this work, you have to be really good at what you do. And that means that you can create sustainable, lasting change for your clients. And when you can do that, you can be wildly successful in this business. But until you can do that, I can guarantee that you will wobble. Okay. So becoming a coach, super easy. Anyone put up a sign, I'm a coach. But being successful, getting people results, that's a whole nother story. And I've seen and worked with great coaches and not so great coaches. And that was part of what started me on this mission. I really started to realize what separated out those who were really good and were able to help me, because that's what was my frame of reference, and those who weren't, were really three things. Those who were practicing what they preach, like you could tell they were living and breathing their work. That's probably the most important thing. Number two, they shared with me that they would get feedback on their coaching, right? Seeing their own blind spots. And they were receiving coaching themselves to deepen their abilities and their own healing and their own growth. So these are the three things that I really think are super essential as a coach that you integrate also into your practice. And there are three of my values, three things that I will probably always live by. Hey, Paige, so good to see you. So today I wanted to talk about why thought work alone is not enough. So if you are a coach and you're using thought work, which if you are a coach, likely you're using thought work, because that is, from my perception, my understanding, what I see most coaching programs teach. Okay, they teach the foundations of how to shift someone's thinking, which is really important. I don't want to devalue that. What I want you to leave this training from today is that it's just not alone enough. So there's three key mistakes that I see. God, I have like a hair. Anyone ever have a hair like get stuck? Anyway, there's three key mistakes that I often see that coaches are making. And it's actually going to hold back your clients from getting sustainable results. And those three mistakes are: number one, not addressing human physiology first. Okay. So not addressing the nervous system in the state your client is coming to you in. Too often we jump right into the coaching piece. And when I say the coaching piece, the asking our client, and hey, I'm guilty of this, guys, too. I'm not perfect at all. These are mistakes I've done. They are mistakes I see my clients doing. They are mistakes I've experienced working with other coaches, okay? Both as a client and as a coach. So it's not addressing human physiology. Our physiology is going to trump all else. So really, you can't change someone's thoughts. You can't change someone's energy. You can't change someone's beliefs when they're in a physiological state that is not conducive for it. So what does all that jargon mean? It means that if your client is coming to you in fight or flight, what information they upload or download, so what they upload, meaning what they share with you and discover with you, and then the information that you're able to give back that they download is not as likely to stick. Okay, so that's the first mistake. The second mistake is only looking at surface level thoughts. So it's not actually digging deeper and being willing to peel back those layers. And here's the reason. I see so many coaches not willing to do this work, not willing to go there. And it's because they're afraid they're not a therapist. They're afraid that they are not qualified to do that. And I just want to give all you coaches out there right now permission to do it. Dig deeper. You have the capacity and the ability to hold that space for people. Number 3, not processing the emotions fully with your clients. So your client comes to a call, you get to the thoughts, right? You understand the thoughts. You help them understand the thoughts. But then you're not spending enough time in the emotions. Guys, we do everything in this world because we want to feel a certain way. It's that simple. And emotions, science has shown, they can get trapped and stuck in the body. And if we don't fully process an emotion, whether it's a current emotion or an emotion we experienced in the past, we don't process it fully, it stays there. And that's going to keep us going back to the same habits and patterns. Okay, so those are the 3 mistakes. And right now, if you are a coach and you are like, oh shit, she just called me out, no worries, okay? I do these things sometimes too, so no harm right now, because we're going to work on what you do need to be doing today and what you can do to tweak and alter it so your coaching sessions can be more profound. They can be more impactful, okay? So how do you even know right now if you are making these mistakes? Maybe you recognize it, but if you're not, what I want you to know is that if your clients are coming back week after week after week, making absolutely no progress, like it just feels like Groundhog Day. You guys remember that movie? I think it was with Bill Murray, and it's just like the same day, repeats over and over and over. Then likely one of these elements is missing, okay? If your client is telling you that a whole week has passed and they've been practicing their homework or been practicing whatever work you guys came up with on the session, and they're not making any steps, like there is absolutely no shifts, even those 1 degree shifts are very powerful. That's another sign that we are missing one of these essential ingredients. Another one might be if your client comes to a call and they are just like overloaded, right? Like they're bringing so many thoughts and it's all jumbled up. Okay. That is another sign, right? If progress isn't happening, or if they're saying, I feel stuck, or I don't think this coaching thing is working for me. Those are some clear signs. And if any of those sound familiar to you right now, you can give me a thumbs up in the comments, or you can just know you are not alone. So if you're just joining us, hello, Gabby. Hello, Julia, my daughter who's watching. That cracks me up. We're talking about why thought work alone isn't enough. And what we've spoken to so far is that there's 3 mistakes that many coaches are doing, and you're not alone, and that's ignoring physiology. Number 2, it's not digging deeper beyond the surface level thoughts, and it's not helping your clients fully process their emotions. So right now, if you're helping your clients see their thoughts, okay, this is amazing. It is beneficial. I don't want you to take away that it's not. And showing them that their thoughts are optional. Amazing. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay. That their thoughts aren't facts. These are great steps. I want you to know that. I just want you to also know that there's more. And that when we integrate the more, your clients are going to get really impactful, sustainable results. And they are literally going to be like hugging you through the screen. They are going to be sending you raving testimonials, and you're going to know in your heart and soul that you are making a difference. And that's why I know many of you get into this work. Not only are you going to be getting those raving testimonials, but I can tell you from both personal experience and many of my clients is you start getting a lot of referrals. So the marketing piece, the sales piece gets really easy when you hone and refine your craft. When you're really good, your work is going to speak for itself. And I want you guys to know this is non-optional, okay? If you are not taking the time to practice your skills, to hone your craft, you're really missing out on a huge piece in your business growth. You're making it harder than it needs to be, is what I want to say. Okay. So again, if your clients are coming back week after week, feels like Groundhog Day, what I want you to know is we need to start addressing these things. We need to start addressing the nervous system. Okay. When your client comes to the call, what state are they in? You need to be able to recognize that. And when you can recognize what state they're in, then you need to have the tools in your handy toolbox to help your client enter into a more regulated state. You also need to be able to educate them so they can do it for themselves in between calls, right? Because we don't want our clients to be codependent on us. We want to empower them to eventually be able to take this work, practice it on a consistent basis, and continue to get results for themselves. Now, of course, that takes time. And of course, it's going to take time for you too. But it starts with you practicing the tools on yourself, integrating them into your own day. It starts by you learning how to regulate your own nervous system, starting to notice, am I in fight or flight? Am I in shutdown? And how can I transition and shift myself back into that ventral state? And ventral, if you're not sure what that means, that's just that state of openness, feeling grounded, feeling in a space of curiosity, being, I like to say, kind of like a detective. And that's what we want to be as coaches. It's also really what I think we want to be as humans. So if you don't have a very solid box of nervous system tools, we'll call it, then I really want to encourage you to collect that, because there are 3 essential tools that you need in your toolbox as a coach. And one is nervous system regulation, because again, your nervous system will always take precedent over everything else. So that's the very first thing, okay? So if right now you do not have this in your toolbox, like I said, I want to encourage you to integrate it. And it's exactly why in the Live Your Dharma coaching certification, it's one of the very first things we go to work on, is we go to work on integrating nervous system tools into your daily life, and then you practicing them on your peers. So you can feel really good about your ability to be able to help your client shift in and out of different nervous system states. Okay, I know you guys don't want to listen to me all day. So let's talk about the second one. You've got to be willing to ask hard questions. You've got to be able to peel back the layers. I want to give you permission right now that if we just stay on the surface, then we don't get to the root of really what's happening for this person. And yes, they might change that circumstance, right? They might be able to make some small shifts, which is wonderful. But in the long run, the habit and the pattern will stay running in the background, consistent. So those unconscious patterns, we need to get to them, and then we need to rewire them. And again, this is just another tool that is essential in your toolbox beyond just the thought work. It's being able to dig deep, peel back the conscious layers, and start to tap into what's going on the unconscious level. Again, this is what we work on in the Live Your Dharma program, because these are the elements that help you hone and refine this art. It is an art, coaching. And then the last one is you've got to be able to help your client process these emotions in their body. So we use somatic tools to help our clients do that. And again, if these are tools you don't have, it's not a problem. I just want you to know that if your clients aren't making the shifts, the changes, you aren't making the shifts and changes that you desire, it is available to you. It's just being willing to get the support, the tools, and then practicing them. So let me speak to that for a moment. Being able to dance through these elements, right? I like to call it's a dance where you're able to sort of dance between the energetics, the nervous system, the thought work, the beliefs, and to dance between them. It takes practice, guys. It is an art. It's not something that for most of us will just come. And the best way to do that is through practice. Now, look, you can change beliefs with just thoughts, with just thought work. You can, but it is the hard way. It is like climbing up a hill with 100-pound weight on your back, doing it backwards. And it doesn't need to be this hard. When you address the nervous system first, when you are willing to ask those hard questions and dig deep, not just with your clients, but with yourself, and really peel back, get to the unconscious layers and do that. I like to call it reparenting. So it's that inner child work with yourself and with your clients. And then when you're willing to really fully experience all emotions all the way through, both yourself and your clients, that is when sustainable change happens. So it's not that thought work isn't valuable. It's intertwined within these elements and we dance between them. And the best way to create that beautiful dance where we feel like we're in flow and it doesn't feel rocky and choppy is practice. It's putting in your reps. Yes, you can go to work and just try to change your beliefs. You can, but I can tell you it's going to be a lot harder. Whereas if you practice and you get feedback and then you integrate that feedback, it's going to be a lot easier to believe I'm really good at this. Because that is what you need in order to be successful in this business. You have to have that level of competency, and that competency builds the confidence. Without that level of confidence, it is going to be a struggle, my friends. So in order to build confidence, there is, yes, an element of integrating new beliefs, but there is a level of doing the thing, of practicing the coaching, getting the feedback, integrating the feedback, and doing it over and over. It's that willingness really to be messy at it, choppy at it, until you find your groove. And the best way to do that, guys, is by being in a supportive container that encourages this. It's what I always wanted. And it is the whole reason, the entire reason I created this program. I still crave it. I crave it so much that I've created a space for myself with coaches that I surround myself with, where we can practice with each other and give each other feedback. And I want it for you too. And that's why I want to invite you right now to take a moment and ask yourself, what kind of support am I craving right now? Do I want to be a coach who's full of shit, pardon my French, and who just shows up and stays on the surface? Or do I want to be that coach that's willing to dig deeper? Do I want to be that coach who's willing to hold the uncomfortable space? Which is uncomfortable, people. It's uncomfortable for me too, but do I want to be that person that's willing and capable and able to do that? Am I willing to do the really hard work that is required for sustainable change, for true lasting transformation? And if you are, I want to invite you to join the next round of the Live Your Dharma coaching certification. We don't start till November, so I know it's a bit away, But I want you to start to play in your mind with this idea that you could be in a container, that this is all we pretty much work on. It's your skill. It's refining it and honing it. And really, there is nothing as important to your business, in my opinion, as this. And here's the best part, guys. When you join early, you get all of the modules. You get to go to work on it early. And not only do you get to go to work on it early, but I like to acknowledge those who are, how do I say it? 2 feet in. And I know you're 2 feet in and you're game on and you're really in for the right reasons. Like, you're not in the coaching industry just because you want to make a lot of money, which you can. I don't want to say you can't, you can, but you really do want to be a part of something so much bigger. Like, I'm not in it for just making a good living. I'm in it because it's had such an impact on my life. And I know what's possible when you make these changes. It doesn't only change your life, but it changes the lives of the people you love. Like, it changes the way your children relate in the world. It's going to change the way they relate to their children and their children. So we're changing generations to come, which, let's talk about this on a bigger level. We're changing society. And that is what I'm really, truly all about. And that's what I'm so passionate about, this idea that we get to change one human at a time. We get to be a part of that. And if you get to make a lot of money while you do it, great, good for you. But more important than that, you get to be fulfilled. You get to have a purpose. You have a dharma. You have a reason why you're here on this planet. And you get to have lasting change in other people's lives. And there's nothing as great as that, I'm telling you, at least in my opinion. And there's nothing as impactful as that, is how it doesn't just impact your life, but it impacts the lives of your family members and generations to come. So when you join, you get $500 off right now, today, tomorrow, for the next month. And you're going to also get $500 off the live event, which I'm just putting out there today for the first time. We're going to have a live event in November. You're going to come to South Florida and you're going to spend a weekend connecting with other coaches, being part of the most delicious, supportive group that you can imagine, where you just get to work on your craft together. That's it. So $500 off the certification and $500 off your invitation. I'm inviting you all right now to spend a weekend with me working on your craft in luxury. It's going to be fucking amazing. So, yes, Maggie, all hearts. And lots of beautiful photos by my friend Maggie, my client. She's amazing. So, here's what I want you to leave with today. Thought work is amazing. It's just not enough. Please, 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 for the sake of your own mental health, your own well-being, and all of your clients, address the nervous system. Physiology trumps it all. Remember that not only do you address your nervous system, but you've got to dig deep and be willing to hold space for all the uncomfortable stuff. Got to ask those hard questions. You've got to teach your clients how to go back and be loving and kind to the parts of themselves that were created as a child that are now living in their unconscious and that were passed down to them from their ancestors. And then, of course, we've got to help our clients learn how to process emotions, not just for themselves, but for their families and for generations to come. Okay, guys, so you want to join? You want to take advantage of the $500 off bonuses? You can click on my link in the bio and apply, or you can just send me a message today. All right, my friends, have a wonderful Thursday. I'll see you.